Hi everybody, this is Mike Gerdes with the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living with Wonder Love Dog Yoga, bringing you another love note. Hey, I got a question for you. Do you like change? Well, sometimes people have a problem with change when it has to do with changing something they've been doing all the time. For example, it came to my attention recently that I make comparisons. I don't just realize that something is good. I make a judgment as comparison as to how something is as it was before. In other words, if somebody says, you're doing good, I can say, well, I'm doing better than I did before. It disqualifies the fact that I'm doing good. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then if you go to the grocery store and you're going to pick out, let's say, an apple as opposed to an orange. I could say, this is just a crazy, wild-ass example. Excuse me, forget that I said that. This is just an example. If I picked a apple instead of an orange, it's because I want an apple, not because I dislike oranges. I would not have to say, I don't like oranges, I'm going to have an apple. Now the reason why this is important, this is a nuance, I understand, is because it's great to know what it is that you want, but when your mind shifts to focusing even a little bit on what you don't want, it's adding more energy to that which you don't want. Do you get what I'm saying? So, let's give yourself some more examples. Do you like cream in your coffee? You do or you don't? Well, what you could say is, yes, I'll have some cream. And you would not have to say, no, I don't like coffee without cream. Simple? Or you said, I like it black, I don't like sugar, I don't like cream in my coffee. I don't need to say that. That's too much information. And the point is, it has you going from a positive to a negative, and you wind up less than neutral. Now, this may seem like I'm picking at hairs. I get that. But give it some thought. Give it some thought. When you're, let's say, there's going to be some elections coming up again. You hear people running for this and running for that. Next time there's a candidate to choose, what you could do is vote for somebody rather than against somebody. What a thought, huh? You could say, I really like the principles that she stands for. But I don't like the principles that he or she stands for the opposing candidate. I don't have to go into that comparison. So I think what we are talking about is to make choices rather than comparisons. And the strength that we gain from making choices, I think, is obvious. We get what we want. We get that which it is that Spirit wants to express, wants to see experienced by means of us. We experience what Spirit wants and desires by means of us. But when we start making comparisons, then we get back into the area of secondary cause and comparison and kingdom thinking. In our teaching, it advises us that there's peace in the kingdom, but no peace in the kingdom. What that means is, the more that we can elevate ourselves out of the world of things into focusing on instead the idea, the essence of that which it is that Spirit wants to express by means of us, then the right and perfect outpicturing of that in physical form will manifest. We don't look to outside circumstances to make things happen or not happen. They do not preclude us or prevent us from achieving that which it is that we desire. Likewise, when we start to embrace and make choices along the way, because we always have something to do as part of this demonstration of our good, we can make choices rather than make comparisons, because it's giving power to the kingdom consciousness. It's giving power to the kingdom thoughts. Now think about this week. Think about choosing rather than comparing. Think about making a choice for what it is that you want rather than denigrating something that you don't want. There's no reason to denigrate people because you're not choosing them to work for you, or you're not choosing to go to their movies, or you're not choosing to listen to them. Why don't you just select what it is that you want? If you like to hear Engelbert Humperdinck, then say you like to watch Engelbert Humperdinck or hear Engelbert Humperdinck. And it doesn't mean to say you have to denigrate any other musician. And likewise the other way around. Why don't we pick who it is that we want to listen to and listen to them? Why don't we pick who it is that we want to go see in the movies and go see them in the movies? You get my point? Well, it seems like it's a fine point, but if you give it some consideration, I know this may be another habit change, but it could be a very strong benefit. So why don't you think about it and see what areas in your life that you find yourself, when you're making a choice, you're always making a comparison or voicing a comparison rather than just making a choice. Now, think about it. And if you come up with some ideas to help you along that line, or things that you always make comparisons about when you make a choice, why don't you write it down? Why don't you tell me about it? It'd be interesting to see what things come up to you. All right, thanks very much. Stay tuned tomorrow to hear another wonderful love note by the lovely Reverend Dr. Maxine. Stay tuned on Sunday mornings at 10:30 for the live stream. And just go to cslphilly.org for our archive of all the talks and love notes that we've done over the past year and a half. Also, there's opportunities to see the classes that we're giving, and there's an opportunity also to make a contribution or a donation, whichever you prefer. That's about it for tonight. Yoga says, Dad, I'm ready to get down. Good night.